Have you ever wondered, how do I break bad habits? If so, this video is for you. My name is Tiffany Toombs. I'm a high-performance mindset coach that has worked with thousands of people across the world to help them break old bad habits and create habits that promote their success, happiness, and fulfillment. In this video, I'm going to share with you a 3-step process that you can do starting today at home to break your bad habits. The first place that we want to start when we are breaking a bad habit is to identify what is the trigger or the limiting belief that causes us to engage in this bad habit. Now, where most people go wrong in attempting to make change in their life is that they focus on the behavior that's not working for them. So for example, if you want to lose weight, but you find yourself eating a whole lot of junk food or not going to the gym, you focus in on those bad habits. The thing is that our behaviors are really just a symptom of our belief systems. So everything that we see in our reality is filtered through our belief systems, our emotions, and our experiences. What comes out the other end of that filter is what ultimately creates the behaviors that we engage in. If you're only focused on changing the behaviors, but you're not looking deeper to the belief systems, one of two things will happen. Either you'll get rid of that bad habit for a little while, but then eventually it'll come back. This is why most people fail to stick to their New Year's resolutions, because they're just focusing on the behavior that's not serving them, or the habit will shift to another area in your life. So let's say you were procrastinating on doing work and that was the bad habit that you wanted to change. Well, if you don't address the limiting belief that's creating that habit, then what will happen is the procrastination might change to doing the laundry or paying your bills on time. And so if we truly want to make sustainable long-term change where this bad habit is not coming back to bite us in the butt in the future, then we have to work on the limiting belief and the trigger. Now, I know so many people have been told that they just lack willpower, they lack self-discipline if the behavior comes back, but that's actually counterintuitive to our biology and how our brain works. In fact, studies have shown that we have a limited amount of willpower every single day. Think of willpower like this water bottle. It starts out full every morning, but every time you make a decision, you tip a little bit out. As soon as this water bottle runs dry, whatever is programmed into the unconscious mind is what you'll go back to. So rather than having to battle yourself every single day to get a new behavior, just work on the limiting belief. It makes things so much easier in the long run. It's like if you were going out to weed your garden, you wouldn't grab the kitchen scissors and cut the stem of the weed where it meets the soil, because the root of the weed is still there. Sure, your garden's gonna look nice for a day or two, but eventually that weed's gonna come back because the root is still there. Dealing with the behavior and not the limiting beliefs is the same thing. The root of the problem is still there. So while things might look good for a week or a month or maybe even a quarter, eventually that bad habit's gonna come back. Now, before I share with you step number 2 in this 3-step process, I wanna hear from you. What is the bad habit that you are looking to break right now? Go to the comments below and let me know. Now, it's not enough to just simply say, I don't want to do this old bad habit anymore. We have to create a plan for what we want to do instead. We need to know what is the behavior that we want to replace this with. So if it's no longer eating junk food, you want to stop binging on sugar and crappy foods, it might be that you want to eat a specific amount of food first. Now, this plan is going to work better for you if you look at adding something to your life rather than removing something from your life. What happens is the unconscious mind, which is the part of the mind that drives the bus of your life, is unable to process the word not. So if you say, I'm not going to drink Coke anymore, what you do is into the reticular activating system, or the GPS of your mind, you put the image of Coke. And so what happens is your mind, that GPS, looks for more opportunities for you to have Coke. I actually worked with a client who was quite obese when she came to me, and she was drinking 2 liters of Coke a day. Now, I could have just said stop drinking Coke, but the thought of not drinking Coke or stopping drinking Coke, the focus is on Coke. And what we focus on expands. So what I said to her instead was the plan for this week or this month is to drink 2 liters of water before you can drink 2 liters of Coke. What this does is it brings the focus and the attention to water. She's seeing more opportunities to drink water in her life. The other thing that it's doing is after drinking 2 liters of water in a day, you're probably not going to want a whole lot of extra liquid. And she began losing weight so quickly because we had found a way to remove the Coke from her life without actually saying stop drinking Coke. So part 1 of creating this plan is look to add something to your life rather than take something away. So another example, if you're wanting to build your bank account so that you can begin to invest or buy a home, you might say that you have to save a certain percentage before you can go shopping or use Uber Eats or something like that. So part 1 of the plan is to add something to your life instead of taking something away. Part 2, and this is where most people go wrong, is our nervous system can only handle so much change. In fact, as human beings, we are wired to stay the same. It's an evolutionary bias. Every time we feel like we're about to change, the fear center of the brain kicks on high alert. It thinks we're about to be hurt or that we're about to die. This is literally how the body reacts, and it pulls us back. It pulls the e-brake so that we can't go any further. You might have found yourself in this situation where you're making all of this change and things are going really, really good, and then all of a sudden everything just collapses. The all or none principle of change is the least effective way for you to make change in your life. If you truly want to make long-term change, pick one thing. Start with that one thing, master that. Now, if you're somebody who makes change often, me for example, I've lived in 3 countries in the last 5 years, I can make change fairly quickly. So I choose one thing a week to change. If you're somebody who's not used to making change, then you might choose one thing per month. But what you're going to do is you're going to get to the end goal faster than if you're constantly on this roller coaster of up and down, which is totally going to destroy your confidence faster. Before I share with you the 3rd step in this process of breaking bad habits, I want to remind you to subscribe to my channel. I'm putting out brand new videos every single week to help you truly master your mind and step into the version of you that you've always wanted to be. So go ahead and click that subscribe button below. Now, there's a really interesting thing about our mind, that the unconscious mind doesn't know the difference between fiction and reality. This is why so many people wake up after having a really intense dream and they might be mad at their spouse or their friend because their spouse or friend did something to them in that dream and they think it's real. The unconscious mind doesn't know the difference between a dream or a visualization or a daydream and what's actually happening. So when people say, I need to see it to believe it, being able to picture it in your mind is actually enough to convince the unconscious mind that it's possible. Now, there's also been plenty of really cool studies done on mental rehearsal. And when you visualize yourself doing the new behavior instead of the old behavior, you actually strengthen the pathways in the mind that encourage you to take that new path instead. There was a study done with basketball players where one group did not shoot any baskets for 30 days. The second group physically went out and they shot free throws every day. They shot 30 free throws a day. And the last group, they visualized, they imagined in their mind shooting those baskets 30 times for 30 days. They tested their accuracy before this 30 days started and after. And what they found was there was no change in the group that didn't touch the basketballs. No surprise there. The group that physically touched the basketballs, their accuracy improved by 24%. The group that mentally prepared, that mentally rehearsed doing this skill, they improved by 23%, which there's not a statistical significant difference between those two groups. So visualizing yourself taking the new path every single day, just taking 2, 3, 5 minutes in your morning to picture yourself doing the new exercise or new activity, new habit, is just as effective in reprogramming the mind as actually doing the new behavior. Like everything in life, the 1% difference between those who succeed and those who don't comes down to the mind. So use the power of your mind to your advantage. Now, if you're somebody who really wants to master your mind and go to a whole new level in every area of your life, I have put together the 5-day Mind Mastery Challenge. This is a free challenge that you can join anytime, and I share with you more exercises and activities that you can do to release fear, imposter syndrome, to become better with time management, and so much more. All you have to do to join us for free in this challenge is go to nlpworksheet.com or click on the link in the description. Thanks for watching.